Greetings. Just dropping in. Quick few comments, stray thoughts. As always, not into the every moment commentary of what's going on. There are plenty of people who do that. Mine is more of a little bit of an observational. So let's observe. We have the very good thing in a democracy, lowercase d democracy, where the people in power are the ones within one party are no longer in power. That is a very good thing for democracy. That is a very good thing for representative government. That is a very good thing for the people. We are in that phase right here in the United States. Gott sei Dank, we are hoping, and we are hoping that Canada will soon see this. Because it is simply a matter of shake it up. Shake it up. Different ideas, because there's no one right way or only way to do something. Different focus, different perspective, because there's not only one thing to think about. These are good things overall, even if in the moment it's uncomfortable or you don't like that policy, you don't like this development. As assuming that you're the one that's on the losing side, as you would call it. So we are in a good place for that. We are also in a place in the United States where we are having a chance to reset. We are having a chance to reset basic fundamental American values and not what the Democrats have been doing to this country for 4 years and the resistance has been doing against Trump and any Republican for 8 years. Couple of observations. Do the Democrats still want to end the filibuster? Hey, Arsenio, I always liked watching you. I'm stealing it. Things that make you go, When they had power, they didn't want filibuster. When they're not the ones in control, all of a sudden their mouths, as much as Democrats run their mouths, they don't want to talk about ending the filibuster. Interesting how that works. But we, as the observers and the thinkers, because we're observing and we think as we observe, recognize that that position was not ideological. It was not based in values. It was based in power and control, which is not a good position. That's not a good position, because those who make their push based on their own power and control do not care and do not respect the people who aren't part of them. They don't respect the opposition, the other side, or other sides. They don't respect the minority. They don't respect the individual. That's what Democrats have shown themselves. Sorry, that was a spoiler alert. That was the end deduction from this. Work through it if you don't see that. Continue to work through it. For example, the Democrats ended the requirement for 60-vote approval for justices. And when they ended it because they had the power to. They did not like it when that was used when the Republicans had power. Democrats, generalization, but Democrats typically don't think these things through because somehow they don't seem to think that they'll ever lose an election again. It's extraordinary. So we're in a place of shaping and reshaping. Watch what the opposition does. Now, I'm giving them credit for calling them opposition. Many of them call themselves already the resistance. And here's a sidebar. I'm just going to speak quietly to the Democrats and the members of the mainstream media and all the running mouths and who are calling themselves the resistance, who wear a beret and are all up into that fantasy world. Sidebar. You can't be the resistance in our country. And our includes you. You can't be the resistance. You can't be the resistance because there's no invader. The only invaders here are the ones you brought in, these millions and millions and millions of illegal immigrants. You can't be the resistance against the duly elected people, officials, representatives elected by the American people. You can't be the resistance to that. You don't know what the resistance was. Stop being the resistance and be the loyal opposition. Opposition. Loyal. Oh, keyword, loyal. So, done with the sidebar. They don't listen to me anyway. We're back. Watch what they do. Watch the opposition. Watch the Democrats. Watch the mainstream media. Watch how they spin things. Watch. Watch. Eyes should be wide open now. Your eyes should be wide open. Watch. Listen. Think. Take with a grain of salt. Consider that the way they're presenting it is not the way it is. It's the way they're spinning it to control you. Millions of Americans have said, we're done with your lies, your distortions, your misrepresentations, your misquoting, your partial quotes. We're done with your chattering, nattering about things when you do not even have the facts accurate in the first place. We're done with that because you have caused such harm. Nobody's perfect. Trump's not going to be perfect. None of them are perfect. No one's perfect. But we, the American people, demand that you tell us the truth and you operate respecting us. Do not operate the way the Democrats have been operating. Joe Biden is on his way to a nursing home. Jill Biden should be in prison for elder abuse. Nancy Pelosi has millions and millions and millions that she made playing the stock market. Chuck Schumer is still the leader of the Democrats in the Senate. Adam Schiff, goddamn liar, who was censored by Congress, is the one sitting there making more, just going back through it. Surely there are young, or doesn't matter if they're young, but younger, newer, it's a better word, newer people who are honest Democrats. Surely you can get some of them in there. The country needs you. We need the good opposition. We need good brains on both sides, or all sides, really, because it's not an either or. So, just a few thoughts. We're here still trying to breathe because we've made it through. Now we're trying to start again, reestablish, and we want more Americans to pay attention to those who have been practicing deception. They are called Democrats and Democratic operatives. CNN, MSNBC, but that includes NBC, ABC, CBS, PBS, NPR. That includes New York Times. That includes the Washington Post. Time for you all to open the books. Time for you all to say, and really, you could start by saying, well, we were wrong about that, or we were off about that, or we really didn't practice good institutional controls. We didn't practice disciplined reporting. It's good for you to own up to that. Start doing it. We don't trust you. We've seen who you are. We know who you are. The only ones who trust you are those who are already members of your congregation, who like being told how to think. There are fewer and fewer of them. You all better watch out, because they will ultimately one day, they will figure it out. And when they do, like Neville Chamberlain, they will become ornery and belligerent and erratic. You don't know who Neville Chamberlain is? Do you know? Hit me up in the comments if you want more, because this is eerily reminiscent of Britain after the appeasers had spent a decade demonizing those who stood for Britain, while they stood for cozying up to the Nazis, to the fascists. We are trying to purge this country now of that. It's not the fascists, it's fascist-like, it's communists, it's Marxists. Son of Liberty 2020, mliberty2020@gmail.com. Eyes open. Let's talk. Let's identify. Let's consider. What are the things to look for? How are things developing? How do we encourage the continued development of accountability toward those in power, but respectful, rightful accountability, not the lawfare the Democrats have engaged in? See you next time.